Hello, all you lovely people. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different. Usually I'm playing GUG or what have you, or sometimes Star Wars Battlefront. Actually, that was once, but usually I'm just playing a game. But today I would like to actually dive into something else I enjoy. Figures. I do strongly enjoy just having these things, and I think it's just nice. They're just nice little things. They're fun. So today I will be doing a review of, let me check the box really quick. The Alien 40 Anniversary 7-inch Ash figure from NECA Toys. I'll probably link a option for purchase in the description of this video if you feel so inclined to get one of these figures. I'm gonna turn on my little light here. So yeah, the box is just your, well, you can see it right there. I'm not using a camera for, well, reasons, but the box is very nice, despite being pretty simple. Um, on one side you got a picture of Ash, the other you got Alien in big bold lettering, and on the back you have a picture of Ash's dismembered head, which you can see in the front of the box right there. And a little paragraph which I don't feel like reading, frankly. Um, and below it says, the 40th anniversary collection, collect them all year long. It includes 3 xenomorph figures, well, pictures of them, and a figure of Brett, Parker, Ripley, Captain Dallas, and Kane. And that is about all there is to the box. It's not really the main focus of this purchase. On to the actual figure. Ash is actually my favorite character from the original Alien. Now, I, well, I'm sorry, I tend to get a little sidetracked. I'm gonna start out with the accessories, which you can see laid out there. We're gonna go from right to left, starting out with that little stick right there. It's a light. It's the light stick that he used when they couldn't find the face hugger in medical. I think that's what it's called. And they were looking around for it. He was using that kind of like light to poke around and, you know, shine some light on the situation. Haha. um, it's not much to it. It's just a basic little sculpt there. Blue handle, as you can see, and on the very tip, it's actually yellow, which it's nice that they managed to do that. Most toy companies would just leave it blank or get sloppier with the paint, but no, NECA is above that, and I'm glad they are. And next up would be the glass of milk. And yes, I'm going to be skipping the 3 interchangeable hands because, well, they're just, you can see them there. It's, well, fairly basic. They're just different amounts of open, you could say, for holding different items. It's just it's a very thick glass, which I wonder if it was actually like that thick in the movie, but it's not something you would want to drop from very far up because it feels like the kind of thing that would just like bounce right back up 10 feet into the air and then just poof, be gone for the rest of existence. Anyways, it's it's just kind of glass and milk. There's not much to it. I think it's ironic that he was drinking it in towards the beginning of the movie before what happened with Kane. No, kind of have to be spoilers for this figure. Um, since his blood is a lot like milk. I've heard somebody say that it looked like baby formula, but anyways, now that I've switched the images, I'm gonna do the 2 below it, and I'm gonna do them together because they don't really have any kind of plot significance. Uh, start with the little claw thingy. I also have on me a facehugger from the Aliens creature pack, um, for the movie Aliens. um, it's on scale, obviously. Oh, and really that was just used to do a sort of autopsy, you could say, with it, kind of like uh, lifting up the different parts of the actual facehugger to see what makes it tick. And then it's just a basic design, really. Not too much to it, but you know, it's still nice. I like it. It's painted all silver, so not really much in paint-wise. However, the other thing, the pokey thing, the little poke sticker thing, um, it's got a lot more to it. As you can see, uh, at the base, the base body is just a silver, and obviously it has that green wire stemming from the black tip, and it actually links back into the body with another silver part, which is very small and very carefully painted. I appreciate that a lot. Before going back up and then meeting up again with the tip, where it is also silver as opposed to the rest of that tip's kind of bronze coloring. And then at the base of the bronze is, well, red, just a little bit. There's not too much to this because it's not really, doesn't really seem to have any kind of purpose. I mean, it does have a purpose, but what I mean to say is that it doesn't really have, they don't really, it doesn't do anything in the plot. It just kind of is used to poke at the dead facehugger, which I would, I have used like the box for a GoPro to just, you know, pose him with the little thingy. But anyways, I'm just gonna stop blabbering for a minute, and we're gonna move on to the bottom one, the laser scalpel. I think that's what it's called. It's just what I call it. Um, which Ash used to try and cut the facehugger off of Kane. It's got a nice. I like how there's like an arch over it. What you see is the underside, and it's not very in focus, but it's got a, as you can see, it's got kind of a green little middle thing with the other two prongs spreading out and meeting back, almost in like a sort of diamond shape. The body is, it's not, it's not like a miracle. It's not like, I don't really know how to say it. It's kind of, it's almost basic, but not. I like it. It's simplistic. That's what I mean to say. I'm not very good with words, in case you didn't notice. Uh, the base there's a little bit of silver too, and it's predominantly white, and with little bits of silver and that one bit of gray, which I mean green, which I really like. It's a very nice little addition, and if I ever end up getting the Kane figure, which has been released, I'm definitely gonna pose them together with that little laser scalpel. I think that's pretty cool. Up next is the newspaper, which you can see pretty clearly up there. It's right below the head. I have it in one of the hands, which is not on the figure at the moment. I'm gonna take it out. But there we go. There's not much to it. There's no real coloring. However, it is probably the least likely to get lost, right next to, well, the second least likely to get lost accessory for the figure. And, you'll notice that I say and, a lot, but it's not intentional, I promise. Uh, it's got little dents in some parts where he's like where he's using his android strength to permanently warp the paper. And as you may know, he used this to try to stuff down Ripley's throat to suffocate her and kill her. But, yeah, it's a nice little addition. It's probably the least detailed of all the accessories, but it's also probably if you have the Ripley figure, it's also probably the best, well, not really the best to use, but I would say probably you're going to end up using it more than all the others because, well, it's more noticeable, really. And, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Finally, the obvious, uh, little thingy. its accessory, sorry, is the head, the severed head, which, in case you don't know, in the movie, when Ash tried to kill Ripley with that newspaper, um, Parker intervened and knocked his head off, exposing that he was, in fact, an android. They later hotwired his head and interrogated him, so that's why they have that little thing, because, he can talk to you and tell you all about your chances and give you his sympathies. Uh, it is very well made, and it's even though it's covered in like white, milky android blood, it does still really. It looks a lot like Ash, because it is really. Um, you can still see all the facial details, and on the bottom you can see a lot of. You can see the most inhuman part where it's like just a bunch of wires and little balls on wires, which I like it. It's a weird but also effective design for like a robot. You don't you've never I've never really seen any kind of robot designed like that before, which I think it's cool. I like it a lot. Uh, there's not much to it. You can't really take off the head and just lay him down while you put the other head up. Uh, I don't mind that. It's more just like something you would set at his feet when displaying him. Uh, that about covers it for the accessories. I'm gonna sweep them all to the side here. And then we're gonna move on to the actual figure. Now, Ash, like I said, is definitely my favorite character. Not just because he's an android, but the actor, I just think he portrays like an android pretending to care about people. I think he does that really well. And so yeah, let's start with paint. Now, I'm not a guy who, well, can tell whether or not somebody did a good job or a bad job with paint. I I'm very used to just kind of like older, not necessarily older, but like the lower quality figures. So when I get something like that, but when I get something like this, I can tell that it's incredibly well painted. I'm gonna hold the light up to it. I know you can't really see it. Well, obviously not. But it's actually got such. I'm gonna start with the head. It's got such a great design. You can see like the texture of skin, which is it's so weird how you can get that on a figure. And around the mouth and chin, you can see kind of it's darker, which implies it's there's stubble there, which brings up the question whether or not androids can grow facial hair. I'd say probably not, but of course there's is blue eyes with which I was very impressed with it when I first saw it, and I still am. Uh, they managed to get something that minuscule to be apparent. And of course, there's a little white bit in his eyes, in each eye. And as you can probably see with the image, actually, you can see it pretty clearly. He does have like bags under his eyes, which almost look like eyeshadow. And I've never really I don't own any figures that just look this human, which is weird, because he is not human. But yes, I'd say like an 11 out of 10 for the head sculpt. That head sculpt and paint, that is just incredible. Incredible work, NECA. Good job. Pat pat. Onto the body, it's predominantly blue as you can see, with little bits of red on the pockets. The sculpt is it's also pretty nice, and if you feel it, you can feel you can feel a sort of shirt near the like you can feel something under it. You can feel that it's two separate items, which is I don't know how they did it. Well, I can imagine, but I think it's just neat. I really like it. When you feel the paint, it's also got almost a rough texture, and like it's so realistic. On the backside, there's really nothing on there, just shirt and back pockets. Obviously there's the front pockets, and they got details so small, like, I don't know what that is on the right side above the red pocket thing, but thing looks like it could hold shotgun shells. Really the only thing I could think of it holding, other than like test vials or whatever you'd like to call them, which would be more accurate since he is the science officer and not just the shotgun dude. uh, there's obviously the belt, which has like three different colors on it, which I also I like that too because it shows that they put in more effort. NECA always puts in so much care with each of these figures. It's just mind-blowing. Uh, for th there's the blue sleeve, which is shorter, and on the right arm, yeah, there's a well, his right, there's a patch that's a bl purple, red, and orange, and then blue with yellow lettering that has a it's an Nostromo patch. I don't know why I just didn't just say that, but yeah, it's nice that they added that. It's not on the left arm though, so do be warned, it does not come on both sides. And then of course there is the white sleeve, which not much to say about it. Just looks slightly rolled up. I like it. I like it a lot, if I'm being honest. Then there's the hands, which if you look closely, you can see you can almost see the tendons, and you can definitely see the veins, because, well, it's NECA. What did you expect? Anything less than that? Alright, on the other arm, pretty much the same thing, just without the, patch. The legs are identical, so I'm not gonna review. Yeah, uh, different pockets on each side. One kind of looks like a pouch. The other is like a smaller one. The I'll talk about this later, but actually I'm just gonna ignore that for now because, it's not that point in the review yet. Uh, you can see it's kind of high riding pants because, well, I don't know why, if I'm being honest, but below them there's the shoes, which are just painted white. It's all got a nice. Every bit of paint is just applied, even where it doesn't need to be. It's just, I love it. NECA always, it's I'm sorry, I'm not great with wording. I've said this numerous times, just, I apologize. Uh, that's about all there is in the way of paint. Uh, Paint-wise, I'd say it's 12 out of 10. It's just really well done. Love it. Uh, Articulation. Now, articulation is also another strong suit of this figure. We'll start off with the head. Head can obviously turn 360 degrees and can tilt to the left and right a good bit. It can look down almost all the way, and it can look up a fair amount. As for the arms, they can go out about 90 degrees, maybe a tiny bit less. So, you can have them do a T-pose if you like. And, where the blue sleeve ends, you can actually turn it. So, like, you can turn the rest of the arm there. So, like, as you can see, there's a double joint for the figure, like for the arm there. So, let's say you had it at a 90-degree angle, and it's facing forward. You could just turn it so it's facing to his left, and I think it's nice. Of course, like I said, double jointed elbow can go almost all the way up, about to the point where he's doing a bicep curl. Hands can spin 360 degrees. They can move forward and back a good bit. Yeah. And then there's no waist articulation, which that's fine. He's not very, the characters in Alien aren't very dynamic, really. Legs can go out a tiny bit less than 90 degrees, so he can almost do a full splits. They move out pretty. For my figure, the right leg makes this clicking noise, and I'm scared to move it because I'm terrified that it'll break or something. But, anyways, move out pretty far. Move forward. I'd say like not to the point that it's like a full-on 90 degree, but not that it would be, I don't know. Alright. They moved back a little bit, not very much, just a little. And now what I was going to say earlier, but held myself back on, was that you can't really see a knee joint. However, I guarantee you there is definitely a knee joint there. Um, when I was looking at images of the figure, I was like, wait, there's no knee joint. So I eventually looked at a review and was like, that's really well hidden because it is really. Um, Moves almost 90 degrees, not quite, just a tiny bit. It's like 85 degrees, maybe 80. Um, Shoes can go up and down, and if you bring them down and you can't get them back, and it's harder to get them back up, I strongly recommend that you wiggle them from side to side while slowly moving it up. It works pretty well. Like I said, wiggle them from side to side because they do move side to side. Oh, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Not very good at this in case you didn't notice, I just enjoy it. So, I thought if there's one place I could talk people's ear off, it might be here. Overall, this figure is stunning. I genuinely could not have asked for anything more. Um, the only, like I said, I used a GoPro box for a table earlier with the facehugger. I do recommend that you use some sort of box. Actually, I think that nope, the box that he comes in is a bit too wide and a bit too, well, it's the dimensions just aren't right. I don't really know how else to say it. But this is just an amazing figure. I can't really say much else about it. There, it's just on every angle. It's almost perfect for me. Of course, some people might have problems with theirs, and if say you don't end up liking the figure, I'd prefer not to be held accountable for that, but because mine was just absolutely amazing. Of course, product control is, I think that's, or quality control, I think it is. Um, it can vary, so you might end up getting one that's a bit damaged or a bit warped. And if that's the case, I can't advise using a hair dryer, but you could. I'm honestly, I wouldn't because I'm too scared of like melting it permanently or what have you. But yeah, if you like the figure, if you like the sorry, if you like the movie, if you like the character, um, I strongly recommend looking for one. I'll find a link for one and put it in the description. Anyways, that concludes my review my my review for the 40th anniversary 7-inch Ash figure. However, there is one thing that I actually ended up forgetting to do now that I realize it. Um, this character is on the 7 or 8-inch scale, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. Uh, he is 6.5 inches tall, for context. Other than that, there's not much else to say about him. Hope you all have an amazing day, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.